name is Jenny, and I'm a wife and mom raising 2 kids. But I used to live a more glamorous life as a TV reporter. I was on the nightly news interviewing pop stars and politicians. So when I said goodbye to TV and hello to motherhood, I suddenly discovered what we moms are up against. We live in a world that tells us to be rich and famous, thin and successful. You know, almost nobody says, "Oh, hey, you're a mom? That's fabulous." But you are fabulous, and I'm here to tell you why.
It's the Channelmom Show, celebrating you with Jenny Dean Schmidt.
Hello to every mom who is listening today, and welcome to the Channelmom Show, where we are celebrating you because you deserve it. My name is Jenny Dean Schmidt. I'm a mom and the host of the show. We've got some fabulous stuff coming up for you today because really we're just here to love on the moms. I happen to believe that moms need more love and recognition from our society than they get. Okay. Let's begin the show with Hollywood. I'm not a fan, and that's why I'm going to comment on Hollywood today. Hollywood, with a few exceptions, doesn't really care about your children or mine. And frankly, they don't really care about moms or the value of a good mom. How do I know that, you ask? Well, go watch a movie for kids that's made for kids, and you'll see how I know. Let's consider that very typical formula used in most Hollywood movies aimed at 4 to 15-year-olds. Here it is in a nutshell. Main character is a charming child. Charming child's parents are failing at parenting in one way or another. They work too much, they're away from home too often, they don't try to understand their child, and they don't have the right values. So by the end of these movies, the child has gently proven how dopey their parents are and offers them a life lesson in how to be as wonderful as the child. Now, don't get me wrong. Children, of course, can be wonderful. I happen to have 2 wonderfuls at my house. Shelley, you have 3 wonderfuls at your house. Josh, you have 0 wonderfuls at this point, right? Okay. However, just because I have wonderfuls at my house, that does not mean that I want Hollywood trying to convince me or my child that I'm just a silly parent who doesn't need to be heard or obeyed, and that my child had better get busy teaching me how to be a better person. It's really a very clever approach on Hollywood's part. I mean, what kid wouldn't enjoy sitting in a movie theater or on the couch, munching on popcorn, and learning how they don't need to listen to their parents? And now they have license to live their lives however they'd like. Yippee! Thanks, Hollywood! If you'd like some examples of my Hollywood conspiracy theory, just check out movies like Daddy Daycare, Game Plan, Imagine That, Liar Liar, Furry Vengeance, Big Daddy, Transformers, and the list goes on. And if you'd rather flip on the TV for an example of my conspiracy, check out iCarly. Here's the deal with iCarly. Her parents are off in another country, and the kids are living a great life without them. No need for direction or support. In fact, the one parent in the vicinity is Freddie's overbearing mom, who he practically disowns. And then there are Zach and Cody, living on a cruise ship, sailing around the globe, managing happily without their parents. Who needs parents, really? Strangely, most of the people in my life who have had missing parents struggled, and they yearned for some parenting. Could Hollywood possibly have it wrong? And forget about the dads. Fathers receive awful portrayals in the movies and in TV. Just think about Al Bundy from Married with Children. He's a little way back there, but yeah, just think about him. And Homer Simpson. Enough said. Here's the bottom line. Can anybody care as well for your children as you can? That thought has really hit home with me lately. I do not want to expect the TV to teach my child values. I don't want to lean on my school to provide my children with good counseling. Frankly, even though it can be a lot of hard work, I don't think that those other things love my child the way I do. So why should I expect them to care as much for my child as me? And this goes for every single mom out there. It's absolutely awesome to consider the things that you alone can give your child. No movie, not Hollywood, no TV, no school even. I mean, there are certain things that only you can give your child. Your love, teaching, values, and discipline. So, as you try very, very hard to do it well, I applaud you. And I thank you for taking on something so amazing that Hollywood can't even pretend to do it as well as you. I mean, do I get an amen on that? Isn't it true?
Amen, sister.
Yeah. I mean, okay, you're younger, Josh. Don't you think it's true that it's always the dopey mom and dad? Always. And
I feel like I can relate with my dog. Super Bud is not how my dog needs to act.
Okay.
So, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't watch any of those movies. I've never seen any of those movies.
No, well, what about like the old ones? Because in the old ones, like the Lion King and even Bambi, the parents are gone. They're dead or they're orphaned.
They kill off the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and in fact, that's a plot of the other half of the movies where mom dies or dad dies. It's just awful. I mean, really, truly, nobody just says, let's do a movie where the parents are really good, you know? Yeah, okay, well, so that's what I just had to say today about that. But more than that, I really wanted to lift up the moms out there to say, look, it doesn't matter what they're doing and what they're trying to tell your child. You don't need to rely on them because you know far better than anybody else how to raise your child well. They don't know. I mean, they want you to spend their money with them, but you're going to give them much better lessons than Hollywood ever could. So enough said there. Okay, we have got some groundbreaking advice coming up for you today. I mean, this next guest that we're going to have in the next segment, I think can really help anybody who's married, divorced, wanting to be married again, or even single. But before that, we've got the news.
If you're tired of the same old news,
What more do you want? I want the truth. You're hearing it. Strap yourselves in, folks.
never fear.
What's the dealio?
Part of life is learning to let things go.
We've got news moms can use.
What was that name again? I missed that.
News moms can use.
I love that intro. Dan did a nice job on that. It's very nice.
Dan is the man.
Yes, he is. In the news this week, we've got the latest stories, and we pick them based on what we think that moms want or need to hear. You may not want to hear all the yucky news that you get each night on the TV. Okay, we've got to start with this. A mother, I believe she's in San Francisco, has admitted to giving her 8-year-old daughter Botox injections.
What?
Where?
What?
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay. I don't know the exact location.
You're not making this up?
I'm not. There's more, Josh. Are you ready?
No. But
Okay. A mother has admitted to giving her 8-year-old daughter Botox injections to give her a, quote, an edge in beauty pageants. A woman who would only identify herself as Carrie, Lord knows why she would not want to give her last name, appeared on Good Morning America to show the world how she injects her daughter, Brittany, with Botox, partly as a response to her daughter complaining about wrinkles. And as I was reading it, I'm like, what wrinkles? I have an 8-year-old daughter, and she doesn't have one wrinkle on her. Okay, so a psychiatrist on the news show warned of the harmful psychological effects that this approach could have on young Brittany. You think? Okay.
Isn't that illegal? Botox is a poison.
It can be very bad for you. Yeah, especially when
And
the whole mad cow disease thing was going
And
on.
a doctor has to do the injections, right?
Well, the mom is an esthetician, so she can do it, I guess.
That little girl is going to turn into someone who is constantly feeling like she's not good enough and needing a way to improve it through medical procedures.
forever.
She's 8.
Josh, you just go with this. Just keep going.
I don't even know what to. That's really baffling.
It is. It is. All right, let's get to some positive news about moms this morning. A series of studies has revealed that mothers who play with their toddlers may have a direct impact on the adult behavior of those children, boosting their academic achievement and reducing their likelihood to commit violence. The study found that if you just get down on the floor and play with your kids while they're quite young, toddlers, that may reduce violent behavior as adults. So I guess it's probably more important to do this with your boys. Not that, girls can't be violent, but it's more likely in boys. And kids who had playtime with mom also were shown to have higher IQs and higher educational achievement compared to kids who don't get this kind of playtime with parents. Dr. Susan Walker led the research on that study. That's super important for mothers to know. Again, one more time, making my point that moms have a huge impact on their children and on the world. Reducing violence just by playing with your child.
Well, they're learning so much at that age. I mean, language that's coming in for academics that you were talking about.
Yeah. That's right. That kind of communication. Absolutely. All right. And when it comes to cell phones, research has been inconclusive as to the potential dangers. But if you or your kid children use phones a lot, you may find the latest research findings interesting. Recently, the results of a 10-year study on 12,000 people across the globe suggest there's a possible increased risk for glioma, which is a type of brain tumor, for people who are heavy cell phone users. They didn't really define that. But no overall use, or increase rather, in brain tumor risk was found. So I don't know what that means. I guess just that one kind you were more likely to get. Now, of course, cell phones do emit a low-level form of radiation, but experts have some tips. So you know what? I'm not just going to give you the bad news. Here are some things you can do. USA Weekend magazine says, first, use a landline when possible. Go hands-free. Just use an earbud. That's what I do. Check your bars. The farther you are from a cell tower, the more exposure you'll get to those radio waves. And finally, text. The teenagers actually have it right on this one. And I've actually got quite good at texting.
I love texting.
Texting may be safer. Just don't do it while you're driving. Okay. What do we have left? I've got, about 3 minutes? Okay, I'm going to have to cut some of these stories.
Personally, I think we should just cut down on the cell phone use for the little kids anyway.
I know. My children cannot have one.
I have a 12-year-old cousin who has a cell phone. Who does she need to call?
I know.
Her parents? She's always with her parents.
I know. I'm right there with you. Say that to my son. You can just say that right now to my son.
I didn't have a cell phone until I graduated high school.
Yes, that's right, Josh. That's what I'm going to tell my son.
I'm not that old, so.
I know you're not. Younger than me. All right, let me quick do this one, and then I'll get to our little giveaway we're going to have today. So you might not believe what social media is dabbling in now. The social networking site LinkedIn wants to help you name your baby. LinkedIn is suggesting you may want to give your baby a name that's most likely to make him or her a CEO. But what if they don't want to be a CEO? Then don't give them these names. Some of the most common names, they're not, Josh isn't in there, Josh, are Peter, Bob, Jack, Bruce, Fred, Bill, Ron. Apparently you have to have a one-syllable name. Oh, no, we have Christian and Alexander and then Don. While female CEOs are Deborah or Deborah. Pretty much if you're Deborah, you're a CEO. It's the two ways to say Deborah. Sally, Cynthia, Pamela, Ann, Cheryl, Linda, and Janet. Alrighty, quickly to the giveaway. Lemongrass Spa is giving away wonderful things. If you're a mom like me, you probably wish your skin looked a little bit younger and felt less dry. Lemongrass Spa Products offers all kinds of natural, yummy-smelling remedies for a mommy's skin, treatments that have, body polishes with grapefruit and lemon sorbet scents, all kinds of wonderful things. And Lemongrass Spa is owned and operated by a mom. So if you want something that's easy on your budget right now, Lemongrass has a special for the Channel Mom audience. It's the Channel Mom Sampler Pack, which contains all kinds of wonderful things, a lip balm and trial-sized jars of lotion, body polish, face cream, bronzing butter, and whipped body butter. Love the bronzing butter. All for just $10. You just go to lemongrassspa.com and click on the spa shop, and you can shop there and you can find it. Just put in Channel Mom into the search bar, and you can find that little pack. Just $10 for all that wonderful stuff. Or you can win one today. Call 297-1510. 29303-297-1510, and Josh is going to let you know if you've won the Lemongrass Channel Mom Sampler Pack. So that's so great. We're going to go to a break now. Coming up, we have some wonderful advice on marriage and just being in a couple. I mean, this lady is fabulous. She's got really neat advice. I am Jenny Dean Schmidt. This is the Channel Mom Show on AM 1510, FM 93.7, Mile High Sports. We do hope you'll stay with